the Nets. They got waxed last night, an absolute embarrassment from the jump. They started this game trailing Boston 28-2, and it wasn't that close. Now, KD didn't play, Harden didn't play, Curry didn't play. The losing streak has now reached 9 games. And Stephen A., as I turn to you, I will mention that James Harden has already been ruled out for tomorrow's Nets game with hamstring tightness. So many questions about Harden right now. What do we know?
What we know is, from what the people that I've spoken to, he wants out of Brooklyn. He does not want to be there. Now, he hasn't completely gone nuclear the way that he did in Houston, where he's showing up late or refusing to show up at all or what have you. One executive described it to me as him being at a 60% level. Another player echoed that sentiment. Whereas he went 100 at Houston, he's at about 60 right now. And Kevin Durant obviously would have something to do with that. He wants out. He wants to be in Philadelphia. The tardiness, the lateness, showing up to games late, things of that nature, all of that stuff has been happening. The reason why the Nets have held off on it, according to my sources, is that Kevin Durant chimed in and said, excuse me, I'm supposed to be back after the All-Star break. Well, guess what? If I'm back, I'm healthy. They're expecting and anticipating that the New York mayor will lift that mandate for the vaccine and what have you in terms of being vaccinated. They're anticipating that something like that will happen, which would make Kyrie Irving available. And then you couple both of that with James Harden, and things would get better. So that's KD's position. The Brooklyn Nets obviously support that position. The vaccine situation is a bit tricky. Remember, the mayor of New York is formerly the Brooklyn president, obviously has a relationship with Josiah, owner for the Brooklyn Nets. I don't anticipate that he's going to do anything, but they're expecting the mandate to be lifted come playoff time. How they would know that or presume that, I have no idea. But I'm just telling you what's being said, and that is what has prevented the Brooklyn Nets from trading James Harden. He wants out, though. He wants to be in Philly.
Okay, so let's put the vaccine part of this into the future, because that's where it is. Let's put the Harden thing center of the universe right now, because that is where we stand. Again, 20 hours away. Jalen, when you hear all of this, Harden, for whatever it's worth, he's making $44 million this year, and he wants out and is behaving the way James Harden sometimes has.
I'm going to talk about his lack of professionalism through the lens of one CP3, a guy that started with the Pelicans, right? And before you know it, he ended up in Houston playing with James Harden. And he had to leave there because him and Harden didn't get along. And he went to Siberia, OKC,
right,
to reinvent himself like a pro, like a vet. And now look at CP3. He just led a team to the finals, and he's an MVP candidate. He's doing the polar opposite of what James Harden is doing. It's one thing to get away with that in Houston and get your way and get to the Nets. But now you with the Nets and you still unhappy? Like, you wanted Russ to come to Houston. That didn't work. Now you got a chance to be a part of a big three. And I'm going to tell you another reason why I don't think the deal happens. If you're the Nets, you don't know what Ben Simmons you getting in the middle of February.
Yeah.
He ain't played basketball since June of last year.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
You know, the same Ben Simmons that struggled against the Hawks. You got to do that trade in the offseason where you can get that guy in the building, nurture him, get him used to the coaches, build his confidence back up before you even get him out there on the floor.
We'll get to the Simmons of it, but I'm so glad you said all that about Harden. Now, having said all of this, Michael Wilbon, the Nets have lost 9 straight. No team in NBA history has ever made the conference finals, much less the finals, in a season in which they lost 9 straight. And yet they remain the favorite right now in Vegas to win the championship. Well, Vegas usually has an idea of what's going to happen.
If you use your eyes, you can see that the Brooklyn Nets aren't going to win anything. That's like arguing that the Lakers are still going to win because they got
when
big
the 3
names.
of them come back. If the 3 of them come back, you're going to put Kyrie, KD, and James Harden on the floor together. What are they?
First of all, are they even healthy? Didn't we just go through this last year? Is history no guide for us? No, the Brooklyn Nets are not a championship team like this. And when do you get all 3 of them back? And do you get them back? And some of us don't believe that the city of New York or New York State are going to change the vaccine laws for Kyrie Irving. Some of us aren't buying that. So do you get all 3 of them back and win? So I don't believe that. I believe that this would benefit. I'm like Jalen. I believe this would benefit Philadelphia potentially much greater. Because if you get James Harden out there and he is engaged and he cares and he's playing with Joel Embiid, who's having an MVP season, That changes the dynamic.
I'm going to get to the Philly of it all in a minute, but Stephen A., give me a quick final thought on this as far as KD is concerned. He is trying to keep this together. I mean, am I understanding you correctly?
He is the one keeping this together. He is the reason I am told that James Harden is still there, because he believes they can win with the big three. Obviously, he has that level of faith, and Brooklyn is going to capitulate to what Kevin Durant wants. It is that simple.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.